Hey guys, it's Chuck from Hitching Up and Hanging Out. I am here in the rig by myself tonight and wanted to make a quick video. We are getting ready to get a big storm, and this is the first storm that we've experienced since we went full time. And like many of you, we're concerned about the winds and being in the motorhome and what we need to do. So I've been doing a lot of research and thought it would be beneficial just to show you around in terms of what I'm doing to make sure that we're secure and that we're going to be able to ride this storm out in a very safe way. Right now we're getting about 40 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts. It's about 6 o'clock I think right now. The weather is supposed to deteriorate later on tonight around 9 or 10 o'clock. I think the worst of it's supposed to get here with heavier winds and heavy storms. So we want to make sure that we're safe and that Smokey is safe as well. We don't want anything to happen to her. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is the slides. We have a wall slide that really runs down the entire length of this one wall, and we also have a bedroom slide in the back. So obviously the less surface area that your rig has exposed to the winds, the better. So the first thing I have to do is clean up the mess that is in here so that I can bring the slides in. I'm not going to show you the mess, but we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up and then we'll bring the slides in. Okay, so when I'm doing the bedroom, before I get the slides in, one thing I have to really make sure of is that after this is all closed off, I want to have access to it tonight. So we have two bathrooms. We have a mid bath and a back bathroom. So essentially whatever I need out of this bathroom and bedroom, I need to bring out now, because once this slide is in, there's no getting through. Okay, the wall slide is now officially in, and you can see what a difference this makes in terms of living space. Really does reduce your living space, which is obviously why you have slides. But it's only for one night, it's only me, and I can still get into the mid bath. All right, so I'm outside the rig. Another thing we're gonna wanna do is really secure this area. We have a lot of chairs and stuff, and just for a safety measure, we want to make sure that everything is squared away. Also for our neighbors, we don't want any debris or anything flying over into their campsites during the night when the worst part of the storm hits. Now the other reason you want to make sure that a slide is in during a storm and high winds is not only because of the additional surface area that you're reducing, but as you can see, we have a slide topper. You can see it right up there. That helps keep debris from getting on top of the slide. We have a little bit of moss there I need to get. But during really high winds, that could rip off, and that is an expensive repair. You can see here these palm husks that have come down off of this palm tree. We're gonna wanna make sure those are far away from the rig as well. I'm not sure how much it would take to get those to fly, but they would be like missiles if they did. Now these are everywhere. These are dead palm fronds, and while we love to burn them, they also can be a hazard during a high wind. You can see here, they may not look like much, but these branches are stiff and thick. And you can see where I found this one. Imagine if this had been much higher, would have gone right for the driver's window. The important thing is if you have a rig that has stabilizing jacks, you want to leave those down during a storm. Anything that provides extra bracing and support for your rig is great to have down in a time like this. You know, the other part of this, while we're putting everything away, we are right on Tampa Bay, and as you can see, we have a lot of cardboard that we keep out here to burn, and the last thing in the world I want is debris, trash, or anything else going into the bay. So gotta make sure all this stuff is picked up. You can hear that wind, and it's really starting to pick up. All right, we are all cleaned up outside, secured and ready. Just a quick recap. You're getting ready for a storm. It really doesn't matter what size or what type of motorhome or travel trailer or fifth wheel you're in. They're just basic common sense things that you want to do. You want to make sure your slides are in. Again, the reason for that is it reduces your surface area. Ideally, if you're able to, park your RV or your rig into the wind. Now, here that's tough because our site is small. We're in a 38-foot Class A, so I don't have the ability to really turn it into the wind per se. If I could, I would. But the other issue is we're right on Tampa Bay. I noticed while I was outside that the wind is coming from all different directions. It's really more of a swirling wind, the gusts are. So even if I moved it, the broadsides still are going to take some of the brunt of the wind. So not a lot of benefit in going through all that work. But if that makes sense for you, then do it. The other thing is make sure you're not under any large trees if you can help it. Falling debris is probably a bigger threat to your rig and your safety than being in the rig. In terms of turning these things over, I've read all kinds of different things online. Class A's that we're in, obviously this is about 22,000 pounds. We are stationary, which is it's much harder to blow over a stationary rig than one that's actually driving because of what's called wind load. So if you're driving down the highway, there are just different forces at work on your vehicle that make it easier for it to blow over. When you're stationary like this, it's much harder. So, you know, the different things I've read on the internet, which do vary, are nowhere near, you know, the winds that we're gonna get tonight. The winds we're gonna get tonight are just gonna make it sway and rocky and that kind of stuff. The bigger threat to your rig are from the overhanging branches and limbs and debris that's out there. Things that could actually be lifted up and fly into your windows, your siding. You want to make sure your awnings obviously are up. We rarely put ours down if there's even a breeze because I have such a fear of it tearing. You want to make sure that your stabilizer jacks again are down, and you want to make sure that you know that you're squared away, that everything outside is put away and you're in good shape. So we'll be riding out the storm here tonight. Christy is with her mom and stepdad with the kids. I'll be sleeping up top there just to make sure everything stays okay here in the rig. And we'll see how this goes. So thanks for hitching up and hanging out. Leave some comments or questions down below if you have any questions about how we got prepared for this storm. And ooh, I see the trees blowing pretty hard out there. We'll see you on the other side of this stuff.